we all have it in our hearts. And I have it in my heart. And I struggle against it. So the question is the way to address it, that we let go of desiring things in this life, or of seeking things of this world. Because in the end, this world is nothing. Our beloved Sallallahu he said, by Allah, Wallahi, هذه الدنيا لا تسوى عند الله إلا مثل وضع أحدكم هذا, and the hadith says, وأشار إلى سبابته في اليم ماذا يطلب. That by Allah, this whole entire world, with all its gold and all its crude oil, and all its wealth and all its positions, and all its leadership, and all its women, and all its men, and all its fields, and all the cars that are in it, and all the fame that you can have. If you took the fame of everyone that's famous, and you had that in one person, and all the gold and the silver, and all the money, and all the cush beds, and all the traveling around the world, and all the private jets, it's no more than if you put your finger in the ocean and take it back out. The water that you come out with in your finger, that's how much it is compared to the hereafter, and what God has in store for us. So then why do we fight for it? Why do we spend the majority of our attention and time and energy and heartache and worry going after those drops of water that dry up in a second? Because it's seated in our hearts. وَتُحِبُّونَ الْمَالَ حُبًّا جَمًّا. That you love money, you love wealth, a love that is going to tear you apart. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ سَعْيَكُمْ لَشَتَّى. What you're going after, it's going to take you all over the place. All over the place. Except فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى. That whoever gives and believes in the most beautiful life, in the life that is most beautiful, then God will make it easy for him his life. Will make it easy for him his path. Not because he's deciding to let go of this world. On the contrary. On the contrary, our beloved, peace and blessings upon him, if he had come and taught his companions that this world is not yours to seek, then they would never have the advances that they did. Coming from a people that were sheep herders, a people who were Bedouin tribes, worrying about the small things that they possessed, not being even mentionable to the rest of the world, the empires of the world, to freedom riders, freedom seekers for the entire world. Inspiring science and discovery. Inspiring, by the way, the 3 laws of motion that were taught, I was taught in grade school. Isaac Newton discovered them, were discovered 600 years earlier, and written by Ibn Sina. And everyone knows this if they study. The 3 laws of motion weren't invented by Isaac Newton, weren't discovered by Isaac Newton. They were discovered 600 years ago. But it's been made famous to us by Isaac Newton, because that's the narrative we have. It doesn't matter who it is that invented it. It doesn't matter what culture the person that invented it came from. And by the way, I'm not a proponent of the narrative that we're an East versus West religion. That our religion is the might of the Eastern world, of Arabs and the Indian subcontinent. And that's what Islam is to bring back. Islam is to bring back the might of humanity. The might of the human being discovering. And the might of the human being innovating. And seeking righteousness and seeking peace and tranquility through that discovery. And that might came on the hands of Ibn Sina because he understood the message of our beloved. It came on the hands of those who were before Ibn Sina that taught him because they understood the message of our beloved. Al-hikmatu dalatul mu'min, anna wajadaha fahuwa ahaqqu an-nas bihi. That wisdom is the lost belonging of the believer. No matter where it is, it's his to employ for the service of what God put us on earth for. Not to raise his fame, to raise his glory, or his tribe's or his culture's glory. On the contrary, a believer never seeks fame for the sake of himself or his tribe or his culture. The believer seeks righteousness and discovery and scientific advance for the sake of humanity, for the sake of setting this earth right, for the sake of the solutions that our beloved ﷺ said, مَا مِن دَاءٍ إِلَّا وَلَهُ دَوَاءٌ, that there isn't an ill that exists except that its solution exists. And the problem is that we as humanity are spending our resources fighting each other. We're spending our resources deciding who's better, instead of spending our resources together as one family, discovering the greatness that we can have as a human family on earth.